At Cornerstone, I think really the meaning behind the name is a big part of our story, is because we believe that the cornerstone is what starts the whole process. Like when you're gonna build a house, the foundation, that first stone that's put down or laid on that foundation is the most important, because if anything's off, obviously you're always gonna be trying to change things and overcome mistakes that have already happened. So for us, it's all about planning. It is about making sure that we turn our hats around and we're consultants in the beginning before we're salespeople, we're digital marketing experts. We really have to make sure that we've really consulted and talked to our clients to make sure that where they are and where they're trying to get to, one, it's achievable. It's something that they have budgeted for, they are planned properly. But also, guys, I talk to a lot of these prospects that we're speaking to now, and when I start looking at what is your average ticket? What is your average ticket on service? And they're in Pennsylvania, or they're in a part of New York or California. From having hundreds of clients, we know what these average tickets should be, and we've watched the numbers increase over the years. And the reason why is equipment costs are going up. How many times this past year has the manufacturers increased the pricing on you? So understandably, the average tickets are going up as well. And also we should be selling off of value and not price. So a lot of us are charging premium price because our team is worth it. We are valuable going into their home and we're adding value to them. So when we see an average service ticket that's $400 and they're in New York or California, we know that it's entirely too low. So the first thing we start doing is, listen, we need to dig into the numbers. I'm gonna get my CFO and her team involved because we wanna see what is the problem. Are your COGS out of line? Are your pricing and your profit margins? What is the problem? Because what I'm seeing here is that this average ticket is entirely too low. And if we need to bring in 2,400 service calls this year, and you're trying to get to this $3.4 million number, and I see that this number is entirely out of line, I'm not gonna be able to look at you with a good conscience and say, you need to spend $2 million in marketing to be able to do that, right? And at the end of the day, you have to pay for this business, right? You're paying for these leads, you're building your brand, whatever it is, you're doing something to acquire this new customer. But if your margins and your numbers are out of line straight out of the gate, then you're always gonna have problems. So we like to dig in and get, what is your average service ticket? What is your average install? We wanna know your overhead expenses, your direct job cost numbers, or your COGS. Then we like to look at, what did you do in revenue last year? What do you wanna do in the next 12 months? We take that difference number, and then we take 40% of last year's revenue, add it to the difference, and we come up with this marketing number. What we feel is that, again, this is gonna depend on how long you've been in business, how strong your brand is, right? If you've been in business 2 years, you don't have a strong brand in the market, well, we're not gonna be able to take that 40% of last year's revenue. We're going to look at your top line revenue of what you wanna do in the next 12 months, and that's where we're gonna kind of reverse engineer your marketing budget from there. But if you've been in business 6, 12, 18 years, you've got a brand in the market, we do not feel that you need to take, I want to do 6 million next year, and it's well, it's 8 or 10 or 12% of the 6 million, that's what you need to spend. We don't believe that. We believe that your customer database, your referrals, things like that are worth a lot of money. We just need to nurture them, right? So we've partnered with some amazing partners at Chirp and at Dope, because we know that nurturing that database, your active customers, is where you're gonna bring in a ton of revenue. So when we're planning this, I wanna be able to tell the client within reason how much money they need to spend to be able to achieve the revenue goal that they have set. So when we look at this, if we're now saying 1.78 is what we wanna do, well, now we've plugged in their numbers, their average service, their average replacement. So now on a month by month basis, we can sit here and look at this and now go, well, we now know approximately how many service calls we need each month. We know how many installs we need each month. And now we can go and tweak these numbers, right? Because we're a seasoned business, right? Here where I am in North Texas, we have a very hot summer, traditionally have a mild winter, and our winter is only gonna be 3 months, right? But depending on where you are, we need to take that into consideration. So we like to look at historical data. We wanna look at last year's data to see how many service calls were ran each month and how many installs did you do, And we want to put together a real plan of what it's going to take to get there. Now, one thing that I like over here, this is the average cost per book call. So you'll see here, I've got this set extremely low at $110, but I can play with this number. And what I like to show, if we're trying to achieve 150 calls in January, what I tell people is if you needed to go buy every single one of those leads from a paid source, Google, Facebook, TikTok, Yelp, Angie's List, you need to factor somewhere in the $250 to $400 to acquire that customer. That's not a lead cost. That's not a conversion cost. That is going to be the cost per acquisition. We can get Facebook leads all day long for $50, right? But just because someone fills out a form that they didn't mean to, that it auto-filled for them, or they're your competitors that clicked on your Google ads, or it's, Yelp trying to call and sell you something, but they still got your tracking number from some other campaign you're running, does not mean that that's a lead. Your trucks did not go in their driveway and collect money. So when you look at the acquisition cost, I would say you need to focus on a $250 to $400 acquisition cost for any paid traffic campaign. So if I set this number right here to $250, and I tell them, if you need to get those 150 booked jobs, service jobs, and of those 150 jobs, we're looking to do 14 installs to be able to produce your $192,000. If that's what you're looking to do at $250 per book call, you are looking at $37,500 on ad spend to be able to achieve the 150 service calls, the 14 installs at your averages. That's what you need to do. Nobody wants to budget $250 per acquisition or per new customer. So this is where more than ever, SEO is super important. Google Maps is super important. We are getting so focused right now, seeing the trend that like 60, 70, 80% of our clients' leads are coming from Google Maps. The 3-pack is more important than ever. And I'll tell you, I'll just go ahead and give you a warning now. You heard it here first. I would imagine within the next year or two that Google starts charging your business to be in Google Maps. Even though right now it's organic, I do see in the future, because it's so popular, it's such a big piece of real estate, they will start charging you to maintain your ranking status. So this is where organic SEO and Google Maps is important, because we don't want to be at this 250 number. We would like to be somewhere around maybe 125. Well, where are you going to get to 125 to get your ad spend number down drastically? Well, you got to get that from a blended number. The blended number comes from your paid traffic and your organic. When you blend that together, what is my acquisition cost? Again, the stronger your brand is, my good friend Dan Antonelli, he is the branding expert. The stronger, more recognizable your brand is, the less your acquisition cost is going to be, right? Now, why is that? Well, that is because when people have something wrong with a service that you provide, whether it's HVAC, plumbing, electrical, roofing, whatever it is, you want them to not have to go to their iPad or their phone or whatever and they type in AC repair. If they type in AC repair, they now have a lot of options, right? They got LSA, they've got AdWords, they've got Google Maps, organic, stuff popping up all over this place. You need them to be going to their iPhone or their iPad and they're typing in your company name. Why would they do that? Maybe they've never done business with you before, but if they've seen your video content, they clicked on a video that you shared and now they're being retargeted on YouTube and TikTok and Facebook and different places. There's a way to draw them in and create brand awareness before they even know you and before they're even gonna use you. Guys, that is not gonna be instant return on investment, right? You're not gonna be able to run some videos on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram and go, this is like a billboard. We are not gonna expect any phone calls off of it. All we're looking to do is to create the brand awareness. Now, if you will take that, trust that, and run it all the time, come up with new content, keep the top of your funnel new and exciting and engaging. then you work those people through the funnel, right? So the top of the funnel is like your billboard on the freeway. You cannot dictate who sees your billboard or who doesn't see it. It's every car that drives past your billboard has the opportunity to see it. Well, that's the way the top of your digital funnel should be. Everyone in your service area should see your ads. They should see a lot of variation of your ads. They should see continuous new content of your ads. Then you work them through a funnel. Then you go, okay, well, everyone that's kind of engaged with all of our videos top of funnel, we want to kind of work them through the funnel. This is where you're going to build trust and credibility. All right, people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. So in the middle of the funnel, this is where you get to build trust. Show different variations of a video testimonial from some of your happy customers. Educate them on why maintenance is important, why they should change out their filter on a regular basis, how they can go clean their own condenser if they want to. Give them information to show that you're professional, that you are the company that they want to work for, and give them stuff that if they want to go do it themselves, great. Typically, no one wants to do it, or if they try, they're going to mess it up and they're going to end up calling you anyways. But that's what you do in the middle of the funnel. Now, as you build that audience up, you work those people through the funnel, and then you can show them ads. Give them an offer for a furnace tune-up. Give them an offer for a new system replacement, payments as low as however much. But stop showing those ads to everyone, right? Because you're casting this net out. You know, like think about like where I am here in Dallas, like there's 6 million people within, you know, a 30-minute drive, no matter which direction I go. So if I was to just run an ad and say, I want to show it to a 10 square mile radius here, I'm going to show my ad to 6 million people. And if I show that ad for get a new system, payments as low as $99, do you know how many other contractors are doing that same thing right now in this market? Like you're not going to get anywhere. And the people that you do get are going to be worse than tire kickers, right? Like they're going to be price gouging you so bad. So what you do is you build an audience, build a following, show high quality content about who you are and who your business is. But it starts in the planning phase. You have to plan properly. Because I'll tell you right now, and this is a real prospect's numbers, this prospect here, I'm telling him, for him to do the 3.4 million he wants to do next year, in order to work with us, he's got to commit to at least spending $143,000 in ad spend. And that's on top of our fees, because this is what it's going to take. And that's getting half or more of the leads coming from Google Maps or SEO. But we're going to have to be omnipresent, right? Omnipresent, we're going to make sure that he's on running ads and running high quality branding content on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. You have to be omnipresent, but you don't have to be doing lead generation on all those platforms. You've got to figure out what works. Some clients, email marketing works. Do you know that you could run an email blast right now to your database, embed a YouTube video that you or someone from your team shot? You could tell them Merry Christmas right now in a video, turn it into a YouTube video, embed that video into your email marketing campaign, blast it out to your entire database, and you put a retargeting pixel in it. And now you put some kind of offer or ad and you retarget those people on YouTube. So you just use email marketing that costs you next to nothing to blast out to your thousands of customers or people that you've worked with in the past in your database. And now you can retarget them for pennies on the dollar on YouTube. Instead of just running a straight YouTube ad, targeted ad, you could retarget them because they opened up your video. Even if for 1 second they click on the play button, you now can retarget them on YouTube. So it starts with the planning. Planning on the numbers. Then you want to move to planning your approach. Like, how are you going to execute on Google My Business? How are you going to do it, right? Like, how are you going to dominate on SEO? There's a lot of people out there that say, you know, SEO is trash and this and that. Guys, I'm here to tell you, I just showed you, you need to be budgeting $250 to $400 on an acquisition cost if you're going to look through paid traffic. As demand is there, that number will go down a little bit, unless you're, obviously advertising on something like Google, because Google's platform, when demand is up, so is their price tag, right? But when demand is down, it's hard to get those leads. You've got the big boys in your market that are spending and getting every single impression share that they can get their hands on because they've got deep pockets and they're able to do it. So you don't want to always be relying on paid ads to do it. You want your brand getting stronger, and then you want your direct search, people searching for your name, your company name, to go up, which will then drive your marketing spend down, your budget down, because they're coming to you directly and searching for you. So This here is one way that I want to tell you and show you that you could be dominating SEO this year. You need to figure out what people are searching for in your market. What kind of questions are they asking on People Also Ask? There's people that have questions. They have questions like, why does it cost so much to replace my AC? Is it worth fixing a 20-year-old AC unit? How many years should an AC unit last? How do I know if my AC unit needs replacing? Guys, these are questions that every single one of you could answer in your sleep. This is the stuff that will completely light up your social signals on Google Maps, from your website to your TikTok channel to your YouTube. What you do is you need to shoot content on this subject matter. You are the industry expert. You need to let Google and the social platforms know that you are the industry expert. So you shoot these videos, you turn it into a blog. You then syndicate that blog and you RSS feed it to your Google business profile. From there, you share it on your social platforms, shorts, reels, organic posts. You put $2 or $3 boosts behind them. You turn these into some ads. This could be part of your middle of the funnel, right? How I was talking about where we're gonna build trust and credibility. Think about it. You shoot a little 30 to 45 second video on how do I know if my AC needs replacing? Hey, Jonathan here from ABC Heating and Air. And a lot of times we get the question, how do I know if my AC needs to be replaced? Guys, let me tell you, this is what you need to consider. You're gonna go into different variations of this. And one business owner may say it a different way, but you know how to answer that question that is best in line with the culture of your business and how you operate it, run it. But that could be worth its weight of gold, right? Because now someone watches that and they go, oh, okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know that there's a way to compute on how much the service is, the repair is going to cost me, and how old the system is, that there's a way to get a formula to figure out if I need to replace. And then they watch that, and guess what? Then they jump over to YouTube or they go to TikTok and they get retargeted, but they get retargeted a video testimonial from one of your 20-year customers. And now it's like, man, that just built some real credibility. And they just still don't happen to need anything from you, but they have now a warm, fuzzy, good feeling about you and your business because of what they just watched. So guys, it is about planning, researching what kind of content is going to light your business up. So the next thing I want to kind of discuss and talk about is, hopefully everyone out there has seen something like this. This is a geo map scan. This represents your Google Maps, right? So the little modules that you see here, right? The little pods, they have numbers on them, right? And you want this to be as green as you can possibly get it, because green means this little 2, this 1, this means this keyword, which this particular keyword is for AC repair, right? So for AC repair, we can see, where are we ranking? How are we ranking? And what do we need to do to be able to get better rankings? But this is based off a location. So much of Google Maps is based off of the location of your business. So what do you need to do about that? Well, it depends on where you live. Here in Dallas, you are not going to get very much location, like not even like typically being able to own your entire city. Like it would be a hard stretch that somebody in Frisco or Plano, Texas, which is a suburb of Dallas, that would come up in the top 3 on every single corner of that particular city. And it's not a big city, but we've got clients like Allheart here. Well, there's multiple cities. This is a pretty big area that he's ranking in the 3-pack. But this isn't Dallas, Texas, right? This is 90 minutes north of Los Angeles, California. If you were to go down the valley and get into Los Angeles, you're gonna have the opportunity to probably rank for an area like this big. So this is such real estate driven. So what we are doing is we're encouraging our clients, because we see how valuable this piece of real estate is on Google search. Because there's 4 pieces of real estate that you can own on any Google search when it comes to the home service industry. You've got LSA, you've got Google AdWords, you've got Google Maps, and you've got organic. Those are the 4 pieces of real estate. People ask, well, which one's the most important? Well, I feel that Google Maps is the most important. It takes up the largest piece of real estate. People have gotten really accustomed to wanting to scroll past ads. Let's say they're not an ads person, and they trust seeing the reviews and all of the information that they're able to click and get more information on your business. So, but I also say the more pieces of real estate that you can own on that page, the better. It's a lottery. I mean, guys, at the end of the day, you can be in the first position of a Google Maps search and you still may not get that phone call. Things like the person underneath you had more reviews, a better rating of the reviews. The person underneath you had a cooler name, something that they actually saw recently on an ad or something, some funny video, and they go, oh, I remember that company, that's who I want to call. You don't know the reason behind it. I'm just telling you, the more pieces of real estate that you can own, the more opportunity you have to be in that lottery. But you want to be able to dominate on Google Maps. Now, some ways to do this is that content strategy that I showed you on the last screen. You take that content strategy, you turn it into videos. You go out into the field and you say, hey guys, Jonathan here with All Heart Heating and Cooling. I'm down in Palmdale right now, and we're doing a new install from a customer in Palmdale, and we just want to kind of walk you through the process of taking this old Goodman system and replacing it with this new Carrier system. And we're going to kind of show you the before and after how that works. All right, geotag that photo, push that photo to go to your Google business profile, get a video testimonial from that customer in Palmdale. Those will have significant impacts on your social signals. What you're looking at here is our software, Cornerstone Local. So if you notice in between here, you've got these heat map sensors in different locations. See all the purple throughout the map, and it gets darker with some greens and yellows and some reds. This is part of their service area, and this is their guys doing check-ins on their tablets and their phones out in the field. This is what it looks like on their website. So you can see right here that Adrian, the technician, so one day ago, Adrian, the technician, he performed heater maintenance on a Goodman system at a residence in Tehachapi. Guys, let's go back to this map here. Let me show you where Tehachapi is. This right here is the Tehachapi area. Right here where my cursor is, here's Tehachapi. It is nowhere near their office location. So what I can tell you is that we are not going to be able to get our client here in the Google Maps 3-pack, more than likely, unless there was literally no competition at all in Tehachapi, into the top 3 because they're too far away. But what we are doing is we're producing social signals on their website because this is on their Tehachapi page. This check-in took place yesterday from this city, and this is location tagged, geotagged, and this is all powered by Google. You see Google here in the map, and it says near East Street, Tehachapi. Here's the zip code. The technician was not able to put this. The technician wrote in this, the description that he did, and he took a photo. Now this photo is geotagged, and this photo is actually going to feed back. This client has 4 locations. So I have one of their Google business profiles pulled up. So here you will see this is posts that are coming from our Cornerstone Local software, and they're actually feeding straight to their Google business profile. Think about what that would do for your Google business profile. You are using software that Google is tracking the location of, and it's feeding to your Google business profile. And in this case, they have multiple locations spread out to where now we're feeding the different pieces of content to that Google business location and reviews. So let me show you this on the screen here. So you notice right here, this is their Google business profile. Here's other reviews found from the web. Here's their Facebook. Here's their Cornerstone Local. Their 5 of 5 rating with 401 reviews from Cornerstone Local. This is being recognized and stored on their Google business profile. We didn't put it there. Google is recognizing these reviews. These are called first-party reviews. And Google, friends of mine who have closed-door meetings with Google, knows some of the executives firsthand. We've asked the question, how important are Google reviews from other types of reviews? And they have said clearly that first-party reviews that you can verify and actually house on your website, push out to your Google business, that it's based off of the location of where that review is coming from. Picking up on things like the IP address of where the check-in and where the review came from. Those are verifiable. It's proof. They say that 30 to 40% of all Google reviews are fake. Well, these are verified reviews, so Google is giving those a lot of credit. So you need to get some type of software that will help you generate your own first-party reviews that are verified. But in this case here, reviews at multi-locations are typically hard to do, right? And why is that? Well, that is because, we're using something like Service Titan or House Call Pro, one of our dispatch softwares, and they will automatically send the reviews out for us. It's easy, it's simple, it's automated. This is the one place, guys, that I do not like automation. I love the world of automation. I don't like it when it comes to reviews. And here's the reason why. Because one, I know for a fact, we have the data to back it up, that when you have the technicians personally bought in and asking for that review, the conversion rate goes up astronomically. All right, so it goes something like this. Technician goes to the home, does a great job, gives the customer their receipt or emails it to them, leaves, says, "Thank you so much, Mrs. Jones. I'll see you later." They go get in their car. When they go get to their tablet, they close out the call. This automated text goes. Now, what you're ensuring is that every customer is receiving that. Great, but it's still a numbers game. But if you had a system to where the technician was personally bought in and invested in getting those reviews, giving them some type of spiff for incentive program, for getting the reviews, for doing the check-in, taking the photo and leaving the description of jobs that they're doing. Remember this part right here, because this is super important. This performed heater maintenance on a Goodman system and taking that photo, very important. There's keywords in here. Performed heater maintenance on a Goodman system for a resident in Tehachapi. Those are all keywords. All of this is feeding back to your web page for that particular city. The more times, think of this as a miniature blog, but every job you go do, you've got this miniature blog going to your website. So now the crawlers from the search engine are gonna keep coming and crawling your page each night, and they're gonna go, wow, there's a bunch of new content coming to this page. It happens to be one of your city pages. And then the more often the crawlers come, the better experience that the search engine is going to reward you for your SEO services. That's the 30,000 foot overview example there. But now you see the reviews. All right, you see here, here's the review. This is the location the review came from. Again, Google's picking up on that location. Now, we want to get Google reviews and first-party reviews. So this software here has AI built into it, and it scans the person's phone whenever you send them the review request link. It determines, are they a good candidate for a Google review? And here's what I mean. Someone sends me one of these links from Cornerstone Local, I always get resent to the customer's Google business 5-star rating section, not the Cornerstone Local reviews, because I have like 3 Gmail accounts I'm logged into, and I have an Android phone. So it knows that I'm a good candidate, and I've left Google reviews before from my phone. So Google knows, send this person to the Google review link. But we want to get that happy mixture between Google reviews and first-party reviews. So the software, you'll see here, we add multiple locations to it. All right, so I want to kind of show you what that looks like. So if I click on locations, I just want you to see that this is where we have his multiple locations. This one here in Bakersfield is a brand new location that just got suspended the day that we launched it, because he just signed a lease. So we have the 3 locations, but you can see that now when these check-ins take place and the reviews go out to the customers, it is going to send the customer to the Google business profile to lead the review that it is closest to in proximity. That is one of the biggest problems that our clients have that are getting multi-locations, is how do I get reviews to them? Because my software automates it and it's sending it to one location, but my redheaded stepchild, which is my new investment over here, and it should be looked at it that way. This is an investment. Like if you're gonna go buy a building or pay a lease at a new location to be able to dominate in that local area, and why would we do that? Because we want that blended number of our acquisition costs to go down. If we wanna go 30 minutes down the road because that's in our service area and there happens to be a lot of people moving there and a lot of money there, if I wanna do $2 million in revenue from this new area, I don't wanna do $2 million by having to pay Facebook, Google, and TikTok for all $2 million of those acquired customers. I want a blended number, but you're not gonna get it unless you have a location there. It's just gonna be super hard. So we can add multi-locations to the software, and when the reviews are sent out, the one that's closest to that technician or that home, that's where they're gonna be able to leave the Google review. Now this leads me to the final part. You put all this together, you run your Facebook ads, you run your TikTok ads, you're dominating on GMB, but how do you plan properly when it comes to which campaigns are truly working, which ones do I need to pour the gas on and really like go after it, and where do I maybe need to pull some things back? So like what you're looking at here is this is Searchlight. So we've recently partnered with Searchlight, and we are now including this in all of our programs because we want the data. We want to understand where are the leads, the conversions coming in, and how many conversions just because they're conversions, right? Phone call, form fill, conversion. It could mean nothing. It could be the worst lead or phone call ever. So you don't want to look at just calls. You need to look at conversions, and then how many of those conversions actually matched inside of the CRM system, and then how many of those match actually are paying customers. But then when you can break this down and actually see, where's the revenue coming from? Is it from LSA? Is it from, let's pull the attribution channel down here, right? Is it from Google My Business profile? What if you have multiple Google My Business profiles? Is it LSA? Is it Yelp? Is it TikTok? Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? You need to know where the revenue's coming from. You need to also know, like, which zip codes, which areas are not only producing you leads, but which ones are producing you the most revenue? Which ones do you have a bunch of pocket of open estimates to, but you're not closing about? But right over here at this other zip code, you've got a bunch of revenue coming from it. Well, your marketing company should know that. That way they can go double down on their campaigns over here in this area, right? You've got to be able to get intelligent with it, but it starts at the beginning. You have to plan from the beginning to know where you are and who you are as a business owner today and where you're trying to get to. Reverse engineer your numbers. Find out how many leads you need, how many installs you need. Try to figure out which months you're going to get those from. Because remember, if the demand's not there, it's very hard to get the business. It's expensive. The big guys in the market are trying to keep their guys busy, and they want them there. They don't want to have to go hire 40 new techs when summer gets here. So they're willing to pay astronomical numbers for the impression shares during the off season, right? So this is where we're going to be growing our customer base, growing our club memberships, keeping our guys busy where we're not paying for the leads all the time during the off season. But understanding how to plan the right way, how to execute and get your stuff dialed in from organic, from maps, from your paid ads, how to work on your branding, and then how to track it. How to get down to the nitty gritty and know what is actually putting dollars and cents back into your pocket. Guys, I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned some things. Please feel free to reach out to me or someone from my team at Cornerstone Marketing Solutions. We'd love to talk shop with you. We wish you the best. Thanks.